controversies over the inclusion of the electronic transmission of results clause in the Electoral Amendment Bill, a document commissioned by the Nigerian Communications Commission in 2020, put 2G network coverage at 89% of the country's population. These fresh facts about the country's internet coverage status are contained in the Nigerian National Broadband Plan 2020 to 2025, a 100-page document that detailed how Nigeria could achieve 90% national broadband coverage of its population by 2025. Now, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Pantami, had inaugurated the Nigerian National Broadband Plan 2020-2025 Presidential Committee on December the 16th of 2019, following the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Okay, for more analysis, let's bring in Arise News analyst, Dr. Sam AMADI. Sam, very warm welcome to Newsnight. I mean, this is really becoming intriguing, and you are now saying that our political leaders, the elites, you know, the policy makers are the ones failing the people.
Interesting. Well, I think it's a failure is seen, first is a failure of understanding the process. When the Senate said, look, we are a little bit doubtful about the capacity or the prospect of a seamless electronic transfer, what they should have done is to get to INEC. You see, the Constitution defines INEC as a regulator. So INEC would have gone to source this credible expert evidence. Or
the Senate, rather, should have gone to
INEC. INEC will be the work. Yeah. No, INEC will now go and source it. Because the work of regulators is look for the science. INEC will come and say, INEC would have be the one talking to NCC, looking at this document and saying, as of today, we are X and we want to get to Y. What the National Assembly did was to get to what they want by putting out, get somebody to say, okay, it's 50%. Now we're saying it's 89%. But if they have done the proper work, which is to say that INEC, we want INEC to tell us state of preparedness. Now the two questions are here. Can we have electronic transmission of results? INEC says, yes, we can. There could be challenges, even with data capture, even with, what do you call it, verification. Before you vote, you want to register the data capture. Always have a hiccup issue, but it's INEC that should tell us that today the voter capture machine can work up to this level. So, but what they did now, the problem is that now this new data seems to contradict the facts in which they built their proposal. So you will now say, if they've done the proper thing, we should have settled and said, what are we? Are we 50% or are we 89? Now 89 is almost like 100. Is even everything we do in our life. There are some places in Abuja you walk and internet will fail for momentarily because of either you're going to a tunnel, either there's some kind of switch off. So the real issue is how should we be making these laws? They should get INEC. And that's the problem, that INEC is the one who will now come and tell what they can do based on their own scientific study, based on the fact that INEC would have consulted with the service providers. And by the way, there are also improvisation that INEC does with the electoral. In some places, they use specially designed, power systems to power most of this. And so the logic around INEC cannot do this is a strange one, because everything INEC does, it tries to make provision. Again, look at how we manage even with our everyday life in Nigeria. We don't have optimal electricity, we don't have, but still we use generators, we improvise. So what we should be seeing is that the National Assembly should have probably said, INEC can't decide on the procedure, but INEC will come back and present to us some kind of documentation articulating what procedure they can take. That would be a safer option. And
put it in context.
Exactly.
For the understanding. I get a sense, I mean, you're here, you can correct us. I get a sense that we always go, or leadership always goes ahead, without maybe planning or thinking it through. We're supposed to be held responsible for issues like this. Why did we not get it right from the onset?
I think in National Assembly leadership, first and foremost, the committee report has been ready for over 3, 4, 5 months, okay? And by the time they brought it, under stiff pressure and allegations of alterations or fraudulent, changes to the provisions, they came back and in 2 days, slam dunk, they got it done, okay? Now, they did it in the manner, first, they did years and A. I mean, this is funny. A controversial and very important provision that will determine outcome of election is not a year and now vote, debate, discussion, and voting. So hold leadership responsible for failure first to understand the procedure, failure to defer to the regulator INEC, failure to follow the constitution. Now, interposing between INEC and election and NCC is arguably unconstitutional, as some people are putting across, because the constitution says INEC should have untrammeled, uncontrolled power to conduct election. The best you can do is to require INEC to provide you what you call in administrative law, draft legislations. Before INEC goes ahead, INEC submits some kind of, documentation to them which they can okay by vote. But to ask INEC to get clearance, that's what it is, from a regulator that is not known to the Constitution. NCC is actually a very lower category of public agency compared to INEC. INEC is what we call constitutional agencies, better than more than central bank. They give central bank so much respect, but INEC is superior because the Constitution identified INEC as a body and created the National Assembly cannot change or alter the powers of INEC and its mission because those are constitutional provisions. So to now subject it to the expertise and authorization of NCC before is totally unconstitutional. And so they could avoid it by saying, look, INEC, come up with, when you want to take decisions, INEC, please give us a head up. Tell us what procedures and what reasons. So they could say for something in the law, say, look, INEC will adopt any position it chooses, but in doing so, INEC will advert itself to the technology availability, to seamless applications of that technology. That would have been the safe way to go.
All right, thanks so very much, Dr. Sam AMADI, which we have more time. I'd wanted us to look at, the judicial process in this matter and how the matter could be expedited. 2023 is just by the corner. At the end of this year, the parties would be, holding their convention and getting their presidential candidates elected to run. But thanks so very much, Dr. Sam AMADI, Arise News Analyst.